My entire life, I've been told it was the Chargers' year. Every year of my life has been the Chargers' year. And then football
Really?
starts, dating back to LaDainian Tomlinson, Phil Rivers, Antonio Gates, Keenan McCardell. All these guys, every year of my life, it's powder blue, navy blue, white helmets, doesn't matter. Every year of my life, the Chargers, San Diego, Los Angeles, you can put them anywhere, the moon, the Mars Chargers. I'll hear that they're coming, and it's never happened. I'm done with the Chargers.
Oh, yeah. My man, Coley. What's going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning.
You're in a great mood.
I'm in a great mood. Let's jump right into it. Tell me about the New England Patriots. Do we have a quarterback situation?
I don't know how there could be one. One guy.
There seems to be one. One started, one came in. What are we doing? Huh? Talk to me. Don't.
Not only did that happen, half the team didn't know that was going to happen, which feels like a problem.
Hold on. First of all, why do you look like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air right now?
That sounds like a compliment.
It is. Like, I'm digging the outfit.
You like the color? I told you I'm a colorful guy.
What is that? Cross colors? What is that?
What do you mean?
Cross colors? That FUBU? Like what?
No. This is a little shot. Yeah, imagine I came in with the full suit. All
right.
Anything to distract from talking about this game. That was my plan.
Let's go. What happened? Man, the New England Patriots make Justin Fields look like the quarterback in which they drafted. Wow.
It looked like Matt Eberflus is like the best coach in the league because this.
Yeah, just for a second.
This was
an offensive explosion.
Boom! It was one in the trenches immediately. It looked like the Patriots woke up that day and they were like, "Oh, we thought it was still Sunday. We didn't know we had a game tonight." Like they, for the entirety of the game, just got moved around, and that's where it feels like it was. I don't know if we practiced last week based on what I saw on the field. The last 2 weeks, it very much looked like going into Detroit at home, at Cleveland.
Yeah, I hear all that. I watched the game. I don't need you to tell me you guys look like. I want you to tell me why is this happening, and do you guys have a quarterback issue right now?
There's certainly an issue. I see it as
what is the issue?
It looks like there's two guys who are maybe the exact same. One's playing.
Whoa, you just said the same? 2 weeks ago, man, you were saying that it's no quarterback situation. Zappe is the man.
I agree. But that was my point. My point was they had the same skill set. One of them was just playing more confidently, and that's where I still stand. I still think they have the same skill set. One of them's just playing more confidently. Mac,
is that skill set good or bad? Because right now, based off what you're saying, you saying the same skill set.
I think it's the Chad Pennington skill set of being accurate, not the strongest arm of all time, but being accurate. And if your line isn't going to block for you, and like these aren't mobile quarterbacks, we both I think agree.
Dude, I didn't notice that. I
even if Mac's like grittying in the end zone last time he was healthy, he's still not the most mobile of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So if the line isn't going to hold up, which the Bears, like that's where I give credit to the Bears. They played this game like they were going to get a trophy at the end of it. They were out to prove something last night. They punched the Patriots in the mouth for 4 quarters. I think they held the ball for 40 minutes. The Patriots defense, which I thought was one of the better ones in the league, did not show up outside of Matthew Judon. Matthew Judon played 1 on 11 last night, and that's hard to win in this league when the other 10 guys do not come to play. But the Bears won in the trenches. They bullied us all over the field. That's where it's like the quarterback thing doesn't matter if the other 52 aren't going to show up either.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just trying to figure out which quarterback is the guy. Like, we are so quick. We're so quick to, we're so quick to, and your dog agrees. We're extremely quick to, like say there's a quarterback controversy in Dallas with Cooper Rush because of some success because the starter wasn't. And then all of a sudden the backup doesn't play as well. And then now we're all sitting there I told you so. He can't play. And so I'm interested to hear your perspective, because here in Carolina, which we will get to, there is no quarterback controversy. It's just looks like just a better game plan, better execution. Running a football can really change things greatly.
So Mac starts the game. It felt like the Patriots were never able to get into any sort of an offensive rhythm whatsoever.
Why do you think Bill Belichick, because you're down there, why do you think Bill Belichick started Mac Jones?
From what he said, he told both of them they were going to play. So I don't know if he was trying to get Mac a little bit of in-game feel, because like as you've said, you can practice as much as you want. Nothing is the same as being in the game. So I don't know if he was testing to see how healthy he was. I don't know if he truly thought the Bears are that bad that he could get away with practicing a guy in a game scenario. But it didn't seem like he was ever going to play the full game, even if he was setting the world on fire. So it was one of the stranger things I can remember seeing. And at this, like you see it in college, I don't remember seeing anything like that in the NFL.
I'll be honest, I didn't watch the game. I watched probably 5.5 minutes of the game.
You didn't miss much.
As a fan, what I do sitting here, I'm scratching my head and I'm trying to figure out how do I quantify all of this is I've been watching the Chicago Bears for the last couple of weeks not play really good football, not move the ball down the field. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, Justin Fields had literally 37 completions. I mean, the Colts, we'll get to them. They came back and beat somebody, a couple of week before with Matt Ryan, and they threw the ball 58 times. Mm-hmm. And he had 37 completions. He was 37 for 58.
Yeah, on the season.
Yes. So you're talking about Justin Fields had 37 completions on the season, where that's guys, that's walking your dog. That's just par from the course. Mm-hmm. And then you come out and they play lights out football. And I'm just confused on who are the Chicago Bears and who are the New England Patriots?
Yeah, I mean, for Belichick, he has historically struggled with mobile quarterbacks. If there was one type of, it's like how people talk about Nick Saban, how to beat Nick Saban is with a mobile quarterback. And that's kind of similar to Belichick. So that is one area he has struggled with. And we started off in zone on defense, and that was giving Justin Fields just like again, credit to the Bears. They drew up plays to get guys open. They were designed rollouts. Guys were open, soft spots in the zone. He was hitting those. When we switched to man and didn't pressure, that's when he looked like the Justin Fields we've seen pretty much the rest of his career. He was inaccurate. He didn't know where to go with the ball. He was throwing it out of bounds. When we were bringing pressure, like the one touchdown he threw, it was a jailbreak. He made the right read. He got it right to Khalil Herbert. He scampered for a touchdown. But for whatever reason, when we brought pressure, that made Justin Fields just tuck and run. And he was picked. They went 11 for 18 on third down. The defense made one play all day, and it was a deflection from Matthew Judon for the interception. There was zero contain. Everyone was just trying to. It was like they thought they were playing stationary, like Drew Bledsoe, like someone who was just going to be standing tall in the pocket, no interest in moving. There was no contain on the outside, and Fields was just able to, when he wasn't playing against a soft zone, he just tucked the ball and ran, which is smart because he just picked up first down after first down after first down.
So what do you think moving forward? What do you think if that's how they struggled against Justin Fields in a couple of weeks? The Buffalo Bills come to town. Oh. How is that going to look with that offensive explosion and another mobile quarterback?
I imagine poor. I imagine it'll look worse than it looked last night.
Are you nervous?
Oh, there's nothing. I mean, I would have to have expectations to be nervous.
So, what is that? A yes or a no?
No, it's a no. Like
Okay.
I just anticipate losing, so there's nothing to be nervous about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've already casted your vote.
Yeah, I'm just being a realist
Yeah.
about it. I'm not going to sit here and be
Okay.
like, oh yeah, no, we couldn't stop Justin Fields. Obviously, we're going to put Josh Allen in a box. No.
Yeah.
That's not what I mean at all.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It was. We just got punched in the mouth. It's like
Yeah.
that's why it's like I can't even focus on the quarterback.
You
thing.
got hit in the mouth several times.
Oh yeah, repeated. Like we were just lifeless on the ground, and
Yeah.
the ref never.
Just
The ref
getting
was
pummeled.
talking to someone in the crowd. They didn't even see what was happening. We were just
All right. Well, let's go to my Carolina Panthers. How
victory
about that
Monday
upset?
for the Carolina Panthers. Big win.
Yeah, they ain't had a victory Monday in years. Obviously, with Christian McCaffrey getting traded, now you have
Was that a
Carolina.
shock to you?
I can't say.
I guess whenever you heard of it, which I assume was before the rest of people, was
Can't say.
Okay, all right.
Here's the thing. I talk to a lot of people. I don't want to say can't say as if I know I'm leading on. I do know things. The thing is, I also know, right? I had a guy come up to me. I was in LA and he was asking me questions. And I'm kind of confused with the whole Carolina Panthers situation, because here locally people talking about tanking. Then people are talking about how can you expect to win anything with Christian McCaffrey? Guys are upset, this and that. This is football. Like the Carolina Panthers right now, right? You talk about the shelf life? What's the shelf life of a running back?
That first contract.
Generally, or first contract, so 4 or 5 years, and then what? 65% of the second contract.
Yeah, that feels.
So
fair.
you're hitting about 7 to, if you're lucky, 10 years into the league. So roughly about 30 is the cap, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The Carolina Panthers are not winning any football games that are going to help them go towards the playoffs this year. And is it safe to say possibly next year? Will they be competitive? Yes. Because we just saw them being competitive, especially if you have a coach who's telling offense coordinator, this is what we want to do. I don't agree with the way they played against the San Francisco 49ers, but they came in with a game plan that we are not going to throw the ball deeper than 2.7 yards per attempt. We're going to run the ball. This is what we're going to do. We want to play a cloud of dust football. Now, that didn't help them, but I respect the fact that they walked into the game saying, this is who we are. Mm-hmm. Then they go into the game this past weekend against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they say, this is what we're going to do. Deontay Foreman, all of a sudden he's seen. I mean, my man has been MIA for roughly, he's had some cameos. He's hit a bar or two on there, but he's never really had this much workload. Hell, Chuba Hubbard haven't had this much workload. Look what happened. Pulled hamstring, soft tissue, because his body has not been used this much. All he's been doing this on kickoff, right? When it's getting kicked out of the end zone, that's the signal, hey, guys, my blockers is a no return. And they come out and they run the ball with Deontay Foreman. They finally, their wide receiver one, they go out there and they show him what he can do, which is DJ Moore. PJ Walker was out there dropping dimes, dog. There's a play that he throws it to the sideline to DJ Moore, and I was over there going, wow. Rotating he was going to his right, rotating to his left, throws a right. Quarterback sin. You're not supposed to do that. And what did he do? Dropped a dime. Unbelievable. And then DJ Moore, his ability to keep his legs in there and catches it. Wow. And then you hear Coach Wilk say, PJ hasn't done anything to lose his job, to not be the starter, which I agree.
Yeah.
What I really love is you seeing a quarterback, PJ Walker, and he's obviously worked on his game. The PJ Walker we saw in the XFL and the PJ Walker we saw this Sunday is a football player who has been working on his game. And he said, hey, when my chance presents this opportunity, I'm going to take full advantage of it. And that's what he does.
What would that do for his confidence to be told, like, hey, you don't have to be looking over your shoulder the rest of the
That
year?
does everything. That means when I make a mistake, I'm not going to get the scowl. I'm not going to get the overcoaching or the see. You know, that does everything. When you can walk into the room and you know you have leeway, when you have a runway to say that was not a good decision, let's make better ones, and I will not be punished by being demoted or overcoached in a way that you, because there are times where you can feel and sense that this guy doesn't like me or he's just waiting for me to mess up. You know, people have said on the bottom, they want to know what I think of Terrence Marshall Jr. Terrence Marshall Jr. could play football when he's healthy. He hasn't been consistently healthy. And when you're not consistently healthy and playing in the National Football League, yes, you were dominant in college. That doesn't always mean you're going to be dominant in the NFL. Look at the plethora of wide receivers in Green Bay. These guys can run like lightning. 4'2", 4'3", 4'1", 6'5", 6'3", jump out the gym, acrobatic catches. But the problem is what they can do on offense, they got defenders that can do on defense.
Right.
There is someone right now, like what's the kid number 9 for Chicago Bears? When Mac Jones threw the pick and he mossed.
Jaquan Brisker, yeah.
Jaquan Brisker catches that pass. We normally, back in football, we would see that's Jerry Rice, that's Dwight Clark, that's Michael Irvin, that's Randy Moss, Metcalf, like Don Beebe. We see all of these other Carl Pickens, Herman Moore. Like I could go Sterling Sharp, John Taylor, Roger Craig, Ricky Waters. I can go back in time and tell you all these great wide receivers that could do it. But now there are DBs doing it.
Right.
So now when you have DBs who can do and be just athletic as the wide receivers, and then you add the college factor of I just got out of college. This time last year, I was walking on campus. Now I'm walking to meetings. All of a sudden, you put all those together and you put them on a football field, and now athlete versus athlete, and the only thing that's separating the difference is what's between the nugget. How much can I use my noodle? And how can I apply and how can I see that happening before it happens? And then they say, sit hut. Man, that's a lot of thinking. And you have to be able to process and blank out all at the same time and stay on task. And oh yeah, there's a defender bumping you and pulling on your shirt and doing all that stuff. Like all of those things happen. And that is a hard task to just master when 3 months ago, you just walked across a college graduating stage. That's tough, man. That's not an easy transition. That's why quarterback struggles. That's why, and then you have that's what I think of Terrence Marshall Jr. is if he's healthy, he could contribute to this team. If he's not healthy, he's going to continue to, you're going to see flashes or you're just going to see him periodically because he just, right now the Carolina Panthers need bodies. They need people who can show up and play and be effective.
Do you view health as like a skill almost? Like are some guys?
Yes, I do. I was talking to an individual on whatever team says, hey, big bro, I need to talk to you. I was like, all right, let's talk. This individual said, man, I need to take care of my body. This individual was 1 year away from being in his 10th year. And he was like, man, what about this? What about that? And he's asking me about food. He's asking me about health. He's asking me about stretching, icing. He's asking me about all this stuff. And I'm going, bro, you're 1 year away from your 10th year. And you're asking me about stuff I think you should know about. Like your body and health is part of your job. That's like somebody working on a job for 10 years, man. And all of a sudden they go, hey, man, you know anything about this 401k? What? Hey, man, do they give us parking passes? Where have you been?
Yeah, can you show me how to use this keyboard over here on my computer? Where are the keys?
Yeah. Hey, do you know how to clock in?
Who do I talk to if I want a day off? Is that the manager over there?
So yes, health is one of those things. Soft tissue. I think soft tissue has to do with the way the league is trying to make sure that the players are not have these long drawn out practices, all that stuff. But that also hurts you. You see a lot of teams are now starting to practice dual practices because that's the way they're getting them going. I can tell you one of the things that I thought was really interesting when I was a preseason color analyst for the Panthers that I thought never made any sense. Hardly any of the veterans on a consistent basis against the New England Patriots, they didn't play in the third preseason game.
Right.
And they didn't play in the third preseason game. And I always kind of figured out, like, why? Why aren't they playing? Like, this isn't a team that they have some Pro Bowlers, but this isn't a team that's like primed and ready to make a playoff run. And they have them not practicing because you want to save them for the season. And we're 2-5.
Well, it also sounds like they're trying to avoid injury, but they may be causing more injuries by not playing.
I think so. You see, guys are dropping like flies, bro.
It seems more this year. Like, genuinely, it feels
more. It's for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
The last 5 years, guys are and it's not, huge injuries. I'm not talking about huge. I'm talking about the soft tissue injuries. Right? And so, like, why I think this is why I think the Christian McCaffrey thing is a good thing for Carolina Panthers fans, as some people are saying, man, Steve is trying to be optimistic. Well, you really don't want me to dump on the team. You don't want me to go line item by line item and tell you what the problem is, right? Why kick us while we're down? Why kick the team while they're down?
Also, you guys, I feel like you got a haul for them. Like that.
I'm trying to root for them. I don't want to sit here and just like jump off the top rope and just boom, right? Because I also know how hard it is. Even when you're on a bad team, you still got to practice your butt off. You're still grinding it out and expecting. You're so optimistic and expecting hey, we got a chance. Now, at some point in a ball game, you go, we don't have a chance. But at least at kickoff, you go, man, we got a chance.
Right now, you guys win this week, you're going to be a game out of first, something like that in the division.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything, right?
If you're Wilkes right now, you know what I mean. You're also auditioning.
Absolutely. If you're Wilkes, I just love what's going on. Defense is still playing defense, right? Offense is playing offense. I mean, what's really a concern with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 66% of the time they're a throwing team. They're not running a football. The offensive line isn't very good.
No,
right? Derek Brown. Bro, Derek Brown is balling. Derek Brown is penetrating, quick, shedding blocks, beating a double team. He's constantly in the backfield harassing people. Look at this replay right here. I'm going to just break this down. Derek Brown is sitting in the middle. He's right over the center, right? He's going to go to his left. He takes on the center and the guard, throws the center out of the club. He says, there is only white tees, not red tees allowed in the club. He throws off, has the guard engaged, takes him, and when the fullback comes in, he's hitting the linebacker, which gives Leonard Fournette very little room to run. Derek Brown is playing football at a high level. He may not get the Pro Bowl vote. He may not get the All-Pro vote. But I'm telling you, if they can add another tackle to play next to him, I believe you can have this same star and KK Short kind of impact. Star ate up the double team.
Mm-hmm.
KK was the finesse guy. And that will start. Stars go forward, eat up the double team. KK is finesse, bang. All of a sudden, when they got rid of Star and let him walk, KK was still effective, but KK was now going against double teams.
Right.
His body didn't hold up. He was beating them up, and that wasn't his game. He still was impactful, but he wasn't at the level that we needed him to be, because a lot of times people believe plug and play, right? Like the Green Bay Packers. As long as we have KK, as long as we have Aaron Rodgers, we'll be okay.
Right.
We'll be fine.
Right.
Oh, he'll make us right. The problem is you don't always figure you will be okay, but you won't be great anymore. You won't create the chaos and the confusion and the accountability that you have with stars there. Star is like, you have to account, 2 guys must block him. And we hope this one guy can block KK. If the Carolina Panthers can get another D tackle that can have that impact, and then you have Brian Burns doing what he's doing, they won't just be a statistical top 10 defense. They'll be a top 10 defense that kind of has the impact like the Dallas Cowboys have with Michael Parsons, where you are waking up at night in the middle of the night as offense coordinator because you have to play this team and 2 or 3 players are unblockable.
Yeah.
Not a little bit of time, all the time. Michael Parsons he makes everybody nervous. So nervous that they're banking on, let me just not block him and hope for the best.
Yeah, maybe he'll get confused and fall down.
Let's make him confused. Because blocking him, that's not going to work.
No, he knows what to do there.
Yes. Double teaming him, that's not going to work.
Now, you brought up Brian Burns, too, and there were reports coming out that Carolina turned down 2 firsts for him. McCaffrey obviously already traded. Robbie Anderson already traded. Do you think that's it? Or do you think Carolina will make another move?
I don't know. I haven't really.
What would GM Steve do? What would the GM Steve running the Panthers right now? You're fielding calls. Would you keep?
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to field calls because I want to know our value, right? You're always going to field those calls. I want to know the value of guys. Right now, they're in a very tight spot because they have to. Whatever coach you bring in or you keep, you got to add some value. Christian McCaffrey's, I believe, is a $10 million cap hit next year to the roster. So that means you have $10 million that cannot do anything, right? I'm a shoe head. So basically, you got a closet full of Jordans. You can't use none of them. You can't wear not one of them. You just got to look at it.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey is $10 million towards the cap. So you got to get some draft equity to get some good players that can impact your team today after the draft, and yet it'd be cheap. We're talking about football, cheap labor, right? You can get a Greedy Williams. You could get a Sauce Gardner, where you get a Pro Bowl type of player for a quarter of the price. And then that's attractive for a coach because he has something to build on. Then also, too, with some of that, it allows you to be competitive. So when you go into the next year after you drafting those guys, you get some veterans who want to come to be a part of it. Now you have a great mixture. You got the yin and yang. You got some veteran savviness who can teach the young guys how to improve and get better and better and better and start to allow them their athleticism still to blossom, but also understand the game. And then you have some old heads come in that can contribute who also aren't not all of them are looking to break the bank. And so you can still have some leverage and then start to build and become consistently good to where now you become a free agent destination. That's what I would do. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, I'm sitting here at the corner in the studio where it's nice and comfortable. So it's easier said than done, but that's what you try to do.
The only surprising a lot came out of this game. One of them was after the game had ended. Mike Evans walking in the tunnel had 2 refs come up to him, ask him for autographs. As someone who used to be in Mike Evans' position,
I'm not going in there. I'm not. Nope. I don't dry snitch. I'm not
No.
interested.
I was just saying if that's
is that more
common than people think?
I'll say this: before games and after games, there's a lot of autographs being requested by a lot of people.
Right.
Whether it's staff in every category, opposing staff. Man, I've had coaches send jerseys to the locker room before and after the game asking for an autograph from various players. Mm-hmm. Heck, I've done it. I've said, hey, before the game, while everything's great, hey, I this autograph. I mean, me and Dameon Thompson has my jersey in his house, and I have his jersey in my house. I got LaDainian Thompson. I get a few guys, a number of guys' jerseys I have that Devin Hester that I've wanted, because at the end of the day, when you work in this business long enough, at some point to work in this business, you are a fan.
Absolutely,
and, you're right. And so I think that part, I think people don't always remember that the players, the coaches, the referees, the presidents, the executive, the executives in the front offices, they are fans. I think they're fans first before they're employees.
I would hope so, because otherwise, if people are just looking at it as an investment, then I feel like that's a bad team. Like I feel like fans care more.
Yep.
But I know that happens in the NBA a lot, so I was kind of surprised. How surprised the internet was. I guess maybe don't do it in front of cameras would be the the lesson to learn there.
Yeah, possibly. You might be right. All right. Watching the Detroit Lions play the Dallas Cowboys, I think Dak Prescott came back. Yes, he was rusty, but he came back and played well. Zeke got hit when his leg. I was like, no. Man, what do you think about the running back situation?
So I think Tony Pollard is better in spurts than if you were to give him a full, 20 to 25 cow. Like, I don't know that he's a bell cow. I think he's thriving in this role, and I think that's the role that's tailor-made for him.
I agree. But earlier in the season, there were some things saying early on that Zeke may not be the guy. I don't believe that's a smart move. I think Zeke is the guy. I also looked it up. What is it? $11 million cap hit?
Probably.
If they let him walk. But in 2025, I think it's like a $17, $18 million base. I don't even know if he will want to play till 2025. Right? So, but is Zeke, is he possibly a salary cap casualty? And the reason I say that is because if the wear and tear of being a running back starts to creep up on Zeke later in the season like it did last year, do I think Zeke is washed? Heck no. I think Zeke is still in the top 10. He's the bell cow. But being a bell cow, we also know you're going to hit at some point, even when you're young. We're sitting there with Jonathan Taylor. But as you get older, Zeke's at that 27-year-old age. Even as you get older, you're still going to get banged up, but you don't recover as well. Do they keep Zeke or they let him walk?
I think if it was literally any other team, he'd be gone.
Why?
Teams aren't.
Why would Zeke be gone?
Gone under the sense of the for this. If any other team inherited this contract and had the out, I think he would be gone, because teams don't like to pay running backs in the modern NFL. Jerry Jones is not playing within the structure of the modern NFL everyone else is playing under. People didn't want him to give Cowboys fans, analysts. No one thought the contract given to Zeke the day it was given to him was a good idea, other than Jerry Jones and, of course, Zeke Elliott, who was happy to sign that contract. I don't know that Jerry Jones cares about the dead cap or the cap. I think he likes Zeke Elliott. I think he likes having a bell cow running back. I think he's a traditionalist in that sense where he wants to have him on there. I don't think he's going anywhere.
I think he shouldn't go anywhere. So the question is, does Pollard leave?
If someone's going to pay him, yeah, he should. He definitely should. If Dallas is going to pay him feature running back, what market price, then I think he would stay. But if you're going to see someone else try and make him a premier running back.
So how does this offense, how do you see these Cowboys offense this year thriving now with Dak being back the way it thrived under Cooper Rush?
I mean, I do think that's a good question. I mean, Lamb looked better this week. Obviously, it was Detroit, but Lamb.
Well, I think they simplified the offense and stopped trying to be cute.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 3-step and 5-step drop was more effective, running the ball consistently, not trying to draw up all these cute plays and razzle dazzle and all of this. They just instead of trying to have all these splash plays, they allowed they just kind of took what the defenses have given them, and knowing that the Detroit Lions over the span of the football game will give them a lot if you're patient.
Because there were questions, it felt like it's the first time in a decade there's been questions about the Cowboys' offensive line, but coming into this year there were questions.
No, they're in trouble.
Well,
like they let all of those guys walk that they felt were not worthy of the contract based on the last couple of years, and I believe that they're not gonna. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys would say it out loud, but I think they would love a few of those guys back.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine that's true. But I guess my question was going to be, can an offensive line, if you establish the run or if you commit to running early, can that help you also in pass protection?
Absolutely it can, because it makes, great example, the contrast, the Carolina Panthers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 0 attempts of really running the ball on a consistent basis, right? They're a pass-first offense, but they're not scoring points. So when you do play action, you're thinking about it with the Bucs, but you're not fully committed because they're not fully committed. So all of the the flash fakes, man, they mean diddly squat. They don't mean anything. Because we know you're not doing it. Yeah, you may gash us one or a few times, but we are betting consistently you're going to go. When you get in a quandary, we're believing you're going to throw the football.
Yeah.
When they need a big play, they're going to throw the football. And when you become one-dimensional that bad, it's tee-off session.
Yeah.
Just like when an offense gets behind and they have to run 2 minutes, in the 13th minute of the second quarter, it gets really bad. Like it's just bad football.
Yeah.
That's how guys get hurt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It just made me think of that. Like, what do they do with Zeke?
I kind of think they already made that decision when they traded Amari. Like, that's the decision they kind of made. Yeah. They were like, here are 2 guys making a similar amount of money.
But I didn't think they didn't anticipate the Amari Cooper. They're adjusting now. But do you think with Dak being back and the way the defense is playing, who wins the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cowboys?
Next time they play or that division?
Next time they play in that division.
I feel like the NFC East historically is just everyone goes 1-1 against each other. Like, that's just the NFC East. So the Eagles won the first one. I'll take the Cowboys the second one.
Ooh, you think?
I don't know.
If the Eagles stay healthy though, I don't see them losing.
The whole season?
I don't see them lose against the Cowboys.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that second half was close enough to the point where it's still Mike McCarthy. I don't know that they have. I don't know if Dallas has the coaching to extrapolate what they saw in the second half against the Eagles over a full 60 next time they play.
But besides the little momentum shift, did you ever feel like the Eagles were going to lose, though?
No. But that was a lot. That was a lot of because it was Cooper Rush.
See, for me, it had nothing to do with Cooper Rush. It just like it was a wave of emotion. You could feel the momentum change and shifting. But when it shifted, it wasn't sustainable because they were just getting some good plays off. But the secondary had a few guys that got injured that went to the locker room. Like, it wasn't because of Dallas was just so much better.
Right.
It was because of they had some injuries. Some guys were not there. And that was the difference because they made a lot of the plays in the pass game, not in the run game.
Yeah. I also think that the Eagles have so many chips at the poker table right now.
Yes, that's a great example. They have so many chips at the poker table that sometimes with two jacks, they're like, we'll just punt it. I'll fold. Well, they could have won.
Yeah.
Because they know they'll have a bite at the apple so many more times.
Hey, keep it locked in right here. We're just going to take a quick break to hear from our pals over at Underdog.
This is Bandit. He founded Underdog Fantasy so that humans who really love sports could play with their friends and win some big prizes. Tell your human to go to UnderdogFantasy.com today.
All right, let's jump in last week. Bronze.
Speaking of last week, before we even get into that, you did something.
What'd I do?
In the world of TV analysts and talking heads, inexcusable what you did.
What'd I do?
You apologized for something you had said in the past. How dare you? You apologized to Tyreek Hill. That's not what the media does.
Well, I'm not the media. I'm Agent 89. Oh, you talking about my post?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I recorded that back in – when did I record that? Man, I don't even remember when I record. I think I recorded that at like Super Bowl week in L.A. So it was a long – or off-season in L.A. So, but when you're wrong, you're wrong.
It's that simple.
Right? It's funny is people are like taking it like I was disrespectful and I said he couldn't play. Never said he couldn't play.
No.
He's obviously worked on his game, so I just replied back. I was wrong, misspoke. All right. In the story.
Some people just simply cannot do that. And it's like people view being wrong as like, I'm gonna go to jail. I was wrong. Like, I don't understand why people can't ever just like you did, like just be like, oh, yep, didn't get that one right. Moving on.
Well, being wrong and being a guy who has had his record expunged and posted bail. Let me tell you something. I'd rather be wrong than go to jail. Okay,
without question.
To throw that out there.
Without question.
Just want to throw that out there.
Without
okay,
question.
Right. But it's just part. You're not going to get everyone right. Shannon asked me some questions, and I just go off what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, what I'm watching. I want to make sure if I could say something that said, "Hey, I don't think this individual is this. They can do this," and when they prove me wrong, just say I was wrong and move on.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't trying to be sarcastic. What's funny is I already had his highlights in because I was doing my top 10 catches, and he was in there in some of the stuff. So I was like, instead of putting him on my top 10, let me just go ahead and isolate these and say, hey, you're a baller, bro. You're doing it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. But what I find interesting is like some of the nasty grams, right? Some of the nasty notes that people are putting under there, like, oh, you're so overrated. You're this and you're that. You're so annoying. Listen. If you hit the subscribe button at the bottom of Cut to It, if you have viewed this, obviously I'm not that annoying, huh? I appreciate that. Thank you, kind sir. But hey, it happens. It won't be the first time I'm wrong.
No.
Won't be the last. But you know what people don't like to do, though? They sure don't like to give me no credit when I'm right, though.
Oh, no. I mean, listen.
Oh, they go black ops. They go dark on me, huh? Huh? Them boys be creeping it. They be creeping, talking about, hope he doesn't tell anybody that he was right. People call, anyway. So let's go ahead. Let's go with the games. Oh, also too, let's shout out, man, Andy Reid, 256 career win head coach, winning his coach 5th all time, right? 256. The next guy is Tom Landry, Dallas Cowboys. George Hollis. What I really love about this one is I didn't realize George Hollis was coaching, I think, started coaching in 1920 and was coaching. And out of all this list, he's on the all-time list. He's the only coach that became an owner of a team.
Yeah.
It's Hallis. Sorry, George Hallis. Mm-hmm. And then Bill Belichick, 324. He's tied. And then obviously, God rest his soul, the great Don Shula at 347.
Do you think Belichick and Hallis being tied at 324 had any bearing on the game last night?
For who?
For the Bears. Like, does that do?
I don't.
Well, it's like, does Eberflus use that pregame? Like, hey, we're not letting this guy pass our team record.
Here's the funniest part about what you're asking me. Eberflus and probably the head coach knows the organization. I don't think some of the players know. I don't think some of the players even care.
Right.
I think some players today don't look at the history of football. They look at the history of making money. Right? And the reason I'm saying that, I look at football, I love football, and man, I get lost in the sauce of the numbers of football. Right? I really do. Right now, I'm just telling you, right now I was talking to our guy, shout out to Tim Livingston. Mm-hmm. Man, I'm talking to him about we're going to break down at some point. I'm still in 1992 when Mike Shanahan was the offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. And then a fun fact, you know who the DB coach was for the 49ers at that time when Mike Shanahan was the offensive coordinator?
Not even going to try and guess.
Jeff Fisher.
Ooh.
But who was the quarterback's coach around that time? He became quarterback coach around 90, I think. When did he go? I don't have my notes, but in the 90s.
I'm going to guess Andy Reid.
Gary Kubiak.
Ooh, it's always Kubiak. It's always Kubiak.
And then it goes from there, right? But it's a lot of little things. So we'll get into that. I'm still working on – I'm still in the 90s. Hadn't even got to the 2006s, but just really, really cool thing. Then, like, just even more, right? Gary Kubiak was there, right? I think it's Shane Walter. He's the wide receivers coach. I mean, he's the offense coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. His tight ends coach is McPherson, who became a quality control offensive-minded coach at some point with Kubiak. They're all tied together.
Yeah.
And meaning this offense started in 92 with Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, Gary Kubiak, Kevin O'Connell, Zach Taylor, which all lead to Sean McVay. This Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay era, that tree is so prevalent throughout the NFL. That's why we have great numbers. But this offense does well from the 20 to the 20. The red zone category is not very good.
I feel like
we'll get into that.
We'll
get into that in the next couple of weeks.
You're standing in front of a corkboard at your house like a homicide detective. You've got all the strings.
Yes. The Godfather is Mike Shanahan. And his right-hand guy is his son, Kyle. No, it's actually Gary Kubiak. And then Gary Kubiak has his minions who are right there. And it's like if 49ers were like the 49ers is like metadine. And then it just sprays, and then it just kind of just tears off to there. And then they have the Queen of the South, she's running that. Then they're running this whole taxi cab scheme, but the taxi cab scheme is just really it's a legitimate business to money launder. It's madness. It's madness.
Oh, man. I can't wait to see where it goes from here. Just connecting dots.
Hey, man, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's little McVays and Shanahan's and Kubiak sprinkled all over the place, right? Clint Kubiak is on the staff with the 49ers. Clay. I'm sorry, Clay. Clay's with the 49ers. Clint's with the Denver Broncos. And then on the floors. So just real quick. So it went 49ers, Denver. Then Kubiak goes to Houston. Right. And then they go to when he goes to Houston, there's guys right there. And then over here, Shanahan goes to Washington, and then that's where it all started. So you literally have Kubiak in Houston, Shanahan's in Washington, and then it just manifests, and then it comes back together under Shanahan, and now it's under McVay. The primary guys right now. And then in 2006, some interim guy, entry level, comes in as a quality control coach under Kubiak in 2006 for the Houston Texans. Guess who that coach was? Mike McDaniels.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
How about that?
I was trying to think of a young guy, and Zach Taylor.
Right. But one of the cool things, though, that I in my research I'm still doing, from 1992 till literally, about 2 years ago, there has been either under Shanahan, Mike, or Kyle, there has been one running back coach that exclusively has only worked for the 49ers, Denver Broncos, Washington Redskins, Atlanta Falcons, Cleveland Browns, and Sheffield 49ers. And his name is Bobby Turner. That's been a running backs coach, and he has exclusively only worked for Mike and Kyle Shanahan.
He's the guy you got the big question mark over, being like, what does he know? What does he know?
What does he know? What does he know? But he's only worked for those teams. And my whole point of all this is the prevalent offense in the NFL, and they throw up huge numbers, but defenses are starting to catch up with. And so for me, last week, my gold wasn't the Seahawks and
that was your goal?
Seahawks and Chargers. I think that was my goal.
No, I put it as my bronze, and you laughed at me. I don't think you put it on at all.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't. But what I find is interesting right now is this my goal, because I want to see what do the Seahawks do with Rashad Penny when he comes back. Is this his job? And are the Los Angeles Chargers in trouble?
I don't listen every year. And maybe you didn't when you were playing in the league, you might not have been able to see it. My entire life, I've been told it was the Chargers' year. Every year of my life has been the Chargers' year. And then football starts. And then they start playing the offseason. Every offseason, this is the Chargers' year.
What offseason you live in? I haven't heard that this is the Chargers' year ever.
Oh, when they got Khalil Mack, Tapera Bosa, they got J.C. Jackson. It's Justin Herbert's third year.
I said they'd be competitive. I didn't say
I'm not saying you.
Year.
No, not you. I'm saying,
man, they still got to be. They can't beat Kansas City.
This is what was
told. They can't beat Buffalo.
I think CBS had him as the second best team.
I work for NFL Network.
No, of course. I'm just talking about the media in general. The NFL Network all put the Bills in the Super Bowl. We saw that.
I don't watch CBS where Nate Burleson is on there sparkling, looking nice. I've never watched that. I don't watch that show that I actually was on several times, and Bill Cowher.
Never.
Bill Cowher. I've never watched that. Boomer Esiason, awesome. Phil Simms. I've never watched that show ever. James Brown is awesome.
He is.
I hear.
Yeah, rumors. Yeah.
Yeah, rumors that I know of. Oh, he's so awesome. Hey, you talk about a guy who just, man, who makes you better? Like, James Brown's so awesome. Go, continue. I'm sorry.
Every off, dating back to LaDainian Tomlinson, Phil Rivers, Antonio Gates, Keenan McCardell, all these guys, every year of my life, it's powder blue, navy blue, white helmets, doesn't matter. Every year of my life, the Chargers, San Diego, Los Angeles, you can put them anywhere, the moon, the Mars Chargers, I'll hear that they're coming. And it's never happened. I'm done with the Chargers.
You finished?
I'll be a year late than a year early with the Chargers, no problem. I can't do it.
Oh my gosh! All right. So my bronze is the Chargers and in Seattle. First of all, I did not think that Geno Smith would have composure and play well, and he's been playing well, bro.
He's been incredible.
It's amazing, right? He understands. He's really started to understand. They figured it out. Sitting on a bench. I mean, 3-4 years ago, we didn't even know the dude was still in the league. No. He's out there dropping dimes and playing well. Hopefully, DK Metcalf, he comes back healthy. Hopes he rests up and doesn't push it too hard because for the type of routes that he runs, we need him to be healthy. He's not a guy, especially in that knee, that he's a hard runner too. He's the way he plays football, you need him to be completely ready to play football. So I hope he comes back.
I also hope I know you only see the negative comments on the show for some reason. Swole Bones has swept the nation. That's just what he's. Really? That's his name now. His name is Swole. I haven't heard anyone call him DK Metcalf since you called him Swole Bones last week.
He is Swole Bones, though, right? Listen, I used to work out a little bit, but I don't work out much.
Same.
But I don't work out, just let my body heal. But that brother, he just walk around with he either walks around with a crop top or no shirt on, right?
I wouldn't own a shirt if that's what what am I wasting money for? For what?
Man, so I just hope he gets better. Who was your bronze for last week?
That was my bronze as well, just because.
Look at that. Yeah, look at Ebony look at Ebony and Ivory, huh? I'm sorry, I'm not Ivory because I'm not Ebony. That's a little bit too dark. Let's go with
hazelnut.
Marshmallow.
I don't know. Yeah.
Nah, marshmallow and cocoa, hot chocolate.
Marshmallow.
It is starting to get cold. I love me some marshmallows and some hot chocolate.
Oh, of course. You asked if Rashad Penny was in trouble. Well, not necessarily in trouble. Yes.
Does he get his job back?
I feel like when they drafted Kenneth, they used a 2 to draft Kenneth Walker. It was the second running back come off the board.
I understand. Drafting a running back and that look at James Robinson. He got traded.
For sure. I do think, it's taken so long for Penny. It sucks because it's taken him this long to get the job. And then they used a 1 on Penny. It took him this long to actually establish himself with the job. And then he goes down, and Kenneth Walker right now looks like front because of the Breece Hall injury. Looks like he's
snatched it.
Looks like he's going to win Rookie of the Year. I don't know.
Because yes, I know. I like it. All right. Silver. My Carolina Panthers came out there. Let me get my Carolina Panther notes so I don't miss anything.
How much does this game change while you're looking? How much does this game change if Mike Evans pulls in that ball?
You want to know the lie or the truth?
Both.
How about it? Can I lie to you both?
Yeah. Let me decide. Let me figure out which is which.
Yeah. So I'm going with the lie. Go. Ask me the question.
What does that game change at all if Mike Evans pulls in that walk-in touchdown?
Absolutely not. We were dominating them from start to finish. He could have caught that pass, wouldn't have changed anything. Man, we were destined to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They did not want any part of Keep Pounding Nation, Carolina Panthers. That's what I'm talking about.
So how much does the game change if Mike Evans catches that ball?
We in damn trouble. That's just man. He catches that. If he would have caught that pass, because we're so. Here's what I mean. CMC gets traded on a Thursday. Mm-hmm. He's scheduled to play. Baker Mayfield is trying to practice for some reason. He feels the pressure. Pressure does two things. Makes diamond or floods the basement. And there's water all up in the Baker Mayfield basement. I mean, they out there treading water, right? Mike Evans catch that pass, and I personally believe the way this team is built right now, they have zero error. They can't have any errors. They can't have any miscues like that. And so I'm happy that we took advantage of missed opportunities. But I could tell you, 2 big drops in the opening drive, one by Mike Evans, one by Chris Godwin, and then 3 total drops. They had 5 to 6 drops by their wide receivers that hit their hands and is very uncharacteristic by the individuals that dropped the pass.
So right now, a lot of people are saying, Tom Brady's done. But
Tom Brady threw some dimes out there that his receivers 3 years ago would have caught.
Right.
2 weeks ago would have caught. Heck, Mike Evans would catch that tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's the hardest pass to catch is when you're wide open. I think he was kind of thought maybe it was a flag. Like, dang, did I get flagged? Because he did just push Dante Jackson out of the way. Like he's like, excuse me. I have an appointment on the 25-yard line, and he does not include you. Get out of my way. One of those drops, like you have a drop like that in the game, it messes with you the rest of the game, bro. Oh, you questioning yourself all the time. Man, I got to a point one time where my routine was I had to do the same routine in my catch routine, because if I dropped a pass in warm-ups in my routine, it screwed me up for the rest of the game. Bro, and I was just in that year, I was just in that funk. I'm like, what are we doing? Man, get yourself together. That's how mental the game is.
Right.
Mike Evans catches that pass, I think it changes things. However, in the first half, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, 6 rushes, 14 yards, averaging 2.3 yards. Right? They go on the first half possessions. They're on their own 5, punt, 10 yards, 33 yards, 7 plays, 31 yards, 18 yards, 29 yards, punt, and then go to halftime. Like, you're not going to win any football games, and I don't care if Tom Brady's your quarterback. But the fact of the matter is, the Tampa Bay opening drives, they haven't scored a touchdown in the last 7 games.
Yeah. They're
struggling. The Carolina Panthers opening drive, that was the first time really when Arizona, I think, that they gave up a touchdown in 24 games, fewest in the NFL. Right? I think that's remarkable that in the last 24 games, they've only allowed one opening drive touchdown. Well, I think that's crazy is because we know the Carolina Panthers offensively are not juggernauts. Mm-hmm. Just to show you how much the defense is carrying the team. So I've never seen that by Mike Evans before. And they just keep talking about all the things that are going on with the Buccaneers, and they're talking about, well, why is he doing this? And why, Tom Brady isn't committed, and everybody's commenting. Man, quarterbacks and veteran players take days off during the season and in training camp all the freaking time. Stop acting like Tom Brady is being treated differently. He's not. He's doing what every other veteran does. When they're not feeling it, when they're tired, when they have have that much wear and tear or tread on your tires, that's what you're gonna do, man. Your defense can't stop anybody in the run game. I guess that's Tom Brady's fault.
Half the line got hurt before the season even started.
Guess that's Tom Brady's fault. Yeah. Their secondary is, last year they had 19 different secondary lineups. They only played 17 games, right, bro, in the regular season. They had 19 different lineups. That says something, bro. 19 different lineups. That means in the first half they sustained injuries or whatever the case may be, and then the second half they had to do something different. That says a lot. So
that was the fifth time in Tom Brady's career he's been held to 3 points. 3 of those times have been while he's been wearing a Tampa Bay Bucs uniform.
Okay. Well, they're not running the ball.
No.
Pass percentage, 66% of the time. They're only been sacked 3.5% of the time. Sacks allowed, 9, third best, but they're not scoring points. And I think they're not scoring points is because they're not running the ball, so the play action isn't really there.
We saw this in Tom Brady's last year in New England. The Patriots did not have a tight end that Tom Brady trusted.
For some quarterbacks, they like wide receivers. For Tom, I think it's a tight end. I think for Jimmy Garoppolo, same thing.
Yeah.
Right? So go jump in right, and my goal has to be, what's your silver?
My silver was Saints at Cardinals for the mere fact that it was an entertaining Thursday night game for once.
I already told you it was going to be Thursday night. It was going to be entertaining.
For sure.
Also said some folks were going to hit some targets that we talked about.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
What am I right now? I think I'm 7 for 7.
I don't remember any misses. 5 for 5.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. If 5 for 5 in a new era of football, I'd be a lottery pick. Or basketball, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'd be what was the kid from BYU?
No, Jimmer Fredette.
Yeah.
From distance.
My man was lighting them up. Got drafted, had a European tour. Now he's back in Utah doing something, chilling.
Oh, they might build him a statue in China. Put it right next to Marbury's. He was going crazy over there.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty good. Thank you for that. That fun
for your
fact.
Jimmer for that update. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I like that. Just what I needed in my life.
Yeah, who's your gold? Because mine's what I said it would be going into the weekend.
Which one it was? Who?
Chiefs at 49ers.
Yeah, that was my goal. I'm getting my notes. I got a lot of notes on that one. Yeah, that was my goal right there.
So we're getting deeper and deeper into the season. A lot of people have still just decided Josh Allen is the MVP. What Patrick Mahomes is doing, he lost Tyreek Hill this offseason. Entirely new. They basically just swapped receivers in and out. Mecole Hardman and Travis Kelce are the only guys I believe that were there last year that are still there. What he's doing, he put up, 400 yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns in this game?
Yeah, he put up a lot.
That, to me, it's like, all right, Josh Allen he's got a fully stocked pantry. He's got all the condiments you need. He's got a full fridge. He can make you whatever sandwich you like. That's how many weapons he has around him. Mahomes doing this without a guy who is in Miami right now. To me,
yeah, but see, here's the little outlier that a lot of people don't realize, and just talking about it. Everybody keeps talking about the Tyreek Hill and he's not there. And what does it look like? The offense with Tyreek Hill, because of his speed and Mecole Hardman and all those guys, the speed kills. And we have speed that kills. It makes teams sit in zone coverage because they can't run step for step with these guys. Nobody's running with Tyreek Hill step for step. We keep seeing that in Miami and guys are getting dusted. The difference now is these wide receivers, Scandry and Juju Smith-Schuster, are going against man coverage. And it's taken a little bit of time for these guys to adjust. These guys are not used to. Scandry was playing zone coverage, was playing with Aaron Rodgers where he throws you open. They call it a hinge route where it's a back shoulder.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, they're not throwing back shoulders. Patrick Mahomes will hit you in the face with the ball if you blink. Juju is learning too and getting off the press a little bit. It's tough to get off the press. If you're not used to getting off the press, it's extremely difficult. It's also tiring to get off the press. You saw Brandon Ayuk, he was throwing some great releases out on those DBs, getting on the press, but that's also in that offense. He's utilizing so much release moves, like he's releasing inside, but then he has to get back outside. But he shook the guy inside, so he's shifting, going outside where that guy's running. Now he has to leverage somehow to get back inside, and he's still young and trying to figure that out. And that offense for San Francisco is you run inside or outside routes. It's no variations. 24 30-plus explosive plays last year with Tyreek Hill on the Kansas City Chiefs. Do you know how many they have currently right now heading into that game? On paper, on paper and how everybody's talking about things, you would think it is a low number. What number do you think it is?
I would have said a low number until you said that. Now I think it's in the 20s.
No, it's 11, bro.
Okay.
They're halfway there.
Okay.
But the way we're watching and hearing people talk, their offense isn't explosive. 7 weeks into the season, they're halfway from what they had last year. They're adjusting and figuring it out. But it also tells you the impact of Tyreek Hill. Of what people don't realize is Tyreek Hill was part of the explosion of the underneath game, not the deep route game that you see he is on a consistent basis, the way Mike McDaniels and Tua are doing it. Man, you remember the championship game, the AFC championship game? He catches the pass, takes off running. That wasn't a 30-yard pass. It was like a 10-yard pass, and then he just outran everybody with leverage and his speed.
Right.
A 30-yard plus pass means he's 30-plus yards. They're 30-plus yards when they actually are catching a ball. And they're not far off. The difference is the players look differently, and it's coming in different ways. It's not coming every play of every game. It's coming a little sprinkle here, a little sprinkle there. It's different. It's a slow drip. They're hitting you with that Bruce Lee. Let me hit you in the same spot 1,000 times to make a deeper bruise than just the haymaker of the Mike Tyson. Let me put you to sleep 21 seconds into the first round.
Could it actually be more difficult to defend the Chiefs when you know Mahomes is looking? You don't know exactly where he's looking.
You don't know where he's looking, and I think Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy are drawing up more creative plays to get these guys off the press because that's not their forte.
Right.
Juju can play. Juju is a really good route runner. I don't think currently right now Juju is equipped to beat man coverage every single play. He's not a Justin Jefferson.
Right.
And if that's the biggest problem they got, that's rich people problem.
Yeah.
They're rich with playmakers and making ability. What I really love is the 49ers pressure teams 32% of the time in the first 6 games. 32% of the time, San Francisco 49ers are applying pressure. They're physical. They are dangerous. You know what gets Kansas City Chiefs? Below 10%. They was up there going, nah. Let's hop in this zone coverage. I think it's going. Andy Reid is doing a great job. But I tell you what, Kansas City Chiefs really show that the 49ers have an issue. Mike Glitchy. Why do you say this? The old lineman for the 49ers? McGlinchey?
Yeah, McGlinchey. Yeah.
That brother was having a rough day. His ankle was hurting. He should have. 36 drop back passes, 4 sacks, 8 knockdowns. He was hit, breathed on 12 times. 33%, almost 33% of the time out of his 36 drop back passes, Jimmy G, he was under duress. Man, people can't work under those strenuous circumstances. Man, that doesn't work for quarterbacks. If you're telling me 33% of the time when I drop back, I possibly can get clothesline, I think I would not want to be a quarterback.
Definitely getting rid of that ball quicker probably than you want to. You're just letting it go the second you get that third step.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter whether guy's open or closed.
Yes. Oh, you're going to catch this ball, Debo.
This is your problem. You deal with it.
Yeah.
Now, you heard a lot of Christian McCaffrey. You get straight to Thursday. How different are the systems Carolina and San Francisco run?
Night and day.
Yeah, that's what I assumed, but I didn't want to be rude. But
yeah.
Also, like, how is it more the running plays or more the passing plays that are going to?
It's more the passing plays because there's a play on there where he goes in motion and Kyle Juszczyk kind of.
I saw that. Yeah,
hey, you're right there, right? Because he's still learning.
Right.
The wording is there, but how and why their wording is different. Mm-hmm. Some people call it slant. That offense calls it a line, right? A dig there is a comeback. A dig in another offense is a curl. Mm. Just all. A dig in one offense is outside finish. A dig in another offense is inside finish. Same word, same depth, just where you finish, inside or outside. And if you've been a guy who muscle memory have been inside, and you get in this offense and they say dig, and you just naturally, you're not thinking, you just naturally going to run and you're going to go, oh, you're going to open up in the outside because you're just playing. It happens. Because if you've been in an offense, I was in an offense, dig was outside. I mean, a dig was inside. A dig was inside for 10 of my 13 years. And then I get a new coordinator, and the dig now is outside. Man, I had several brain farts in practice.
Oh, I'm sure.
Gosh, get it together, bro. And I had Coach Steve, how simple do I need to say it? A dig is, but I couldn't say, hey, Coach, I've ran this route 15 times in practice. For the last 10 times, I've ran it 3 times in practice on Wednesday, 3 times on Thursday, 1 time on Friday, 2 times in a walkthrough. Then I go in the game. You do that 10 times, man, you're talking about I've run the muscle memory in my mind and in my body says a dig is inside. And then you tell me now run it outside. I'm going to have a brain fart. It's going to take me a little bit to reprogram my circuit board.
Without question.
So, but I thought that game was excellent. It'd be interesting to see what this team does. Yep.
Now, from a fantasy perspective, your favorite. A lot of people take Christian McCaffrey first overall. Regardless.
In this offense, absolutely. In this offense, he's going to become really, really good in this offense.
How long should people wait? I
think 2 weeks.
Okay.
I think 2 weeks. He's going to get a little bit more this week. Why I say he's going to do that is because they're going to still have Wilson, undrafted guy, right? 2018 undrafted. Elijah Mitchell, he's hurt, right? With Christian, it adds depth. But what I think is going to happen is Christian is going to play really well because they can run him, but then they can use him in the pass game, but then they can do an off pace with Wilson. And I think they're going to utilize that to not to not put too much workload on him. But putting too much workload on Christian is in this regard. Running between the tackles and that pounding, what they could do is get the mismatch and put him outside on a linebacker and run and let him use his quickness and do some of that stuff, catch it, getting outside. Very rarely you're going to see a guy get dinged up, getting hit by corners. It's when all the big guys laying on you, falling on you is wear and tear and wears you down. Just like the same way offensive linemen could wear down defense by laying on them and constantly going. So I think in the next couple of weeks, we'll start to see the impact of Christian on this offense. And fantasy-wise, he will have a great explosion. But it'll be peaks and valleys. There'll be times the same way I said about why Ayuk, because I know Kansas City knows to slow down this offense for the San Francisco 49ers has to be with Deebo Samuel. You don't get Deebo going, they have the ability to stall. You get Deebo going, then Kittle starts the ball, but Kittle's always going to get his passes. But when Deebo and Kittle are going and now Christian, that's where the Brandon Ayuk is. Where's the game plan? And right now, stopping Deebo makes other guys eat. I would imagine next game or two, Deebo will get back on pace and Ayuk could kind of come down and start to be in the 50s.
Looking at McCaffrey and Deebo, kind of similar players, but especially the way
they're not.
Well, it's like they both run the ball and they can both catch the ball.
Yeah,
like,
they're
obviously Deebo. One of them came into the league as a running back, one came in as a receiver. They had different,
but they just do things differently. Deebo is stronger.
Oh, definitely.
Christian is more shiftier. They're just two different players, impact the game two different. They finish the game differently. They're not even close to being the same.
Well, I guess it's more the way San Francisco is going to utilize their skill sets is similar. They're going to line him in the backfield. They're going to line him. They're going to. I don't know if you're going to see McCaffrey out wide, but he'll line up.
Oh yeah, you will. You see him in the slot.
Well, yeah, that's what. Slot. Yeah.
I would imagine at some point there will be a bunch formation where Deebo, George Kittle, and Christian McCaffrey all bunched up together, and that's going to be bananas to see what kind of play they have.
I also like if I'm the 49ers right now, I'm drawing up plays too where both Deebo and Christian are in the backfield, flanking Jimmy G, like all sorts of.
Yeah, but it's all on but they got to get healthy and get the pressure off Jimmy G so he can be comfortable.
Oh, 1,000%.
If not, it's not going to work out.
But my question is, could we be not even necessarily in like the next 5 years, but could we eventually be moving to like positionless football where never?
No, we won't.
Okay.
It may happen in 10 or 15, but not right now. Nah. Because something will happen where it'll reset. There's always got to be a reset.
For sure. Football, I mean, there's always going to be a Derrick Henry, like a guy who, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's always.
Well, you got Derrick Henry. You got Trent Williams. Where is Trent Williams playing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, with skill positions. Yeah. I don't position, like, you're not going to have Aaron Donald, like, playing strong safety. You know what I mean?
Well, those guys are the resetter.
Sure.
Right? You got Cordell Patterson that's able to do what he's doing. But Cordell Patterson is not the standard, bro. He's the unicorn.
Right.
Deebo's the unicorn. That's not going to happen.
Part of the reason I think it may is kind of what we were talking about with Zeke earlier. You don't see teams that want to pay running backs in the first place. So if it's like, hey, if my wide receiver can take 10 handoffs a game, and then I've got another guy who can take 5 and another guy who can take 5. And then they can also catch 3 passes on 6 targets, like that.
No, it won't. I don't think it'll go that way.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Okay.
It won't go that way. All right, let's go with fantasy versus reality. What you got?
Okay. Jonathan Taylor then. The Colts. The Colts are making a switch at quarterback. Matt Ryan, they said, regardless of injury, they were going to make the switch to Sam Ehlinger.
Down somewhere.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough scene. They had him thrown 60 times 2 weeks ago, and now his shoulder hurts. I wonder why. So if you're a defensive coordinator, I assume you'll be keying in on Jonathan Taylor and trying to force Sam Ehlinger to beat you. So his number, higher or lower, 109.5 rushing and receiving yards combined for Jonathan Taylor.
And who are they playing?
They are playing the Washington Commanders.
And then Chase Young might be playing this week.
Okay.
I say lower.
Lower.
I don't. Yeah. I mean,
if you're the Commanders, how many? You put 9 in the box, 10 in the box.
Yeah, they don't have any receivers that the Commanders feel like are more important than stopping Jonathan Taylor.
Right.
And you want to keep your job, so yeah, I see him. I see him lower because their offensive line isn't very good either.
Right. Yeah. No,
they're gonna have to throw the ball. They're gonna have to throw the ball. So I would say lower.
Dameon Pierce, rookie out of Florida, playing well for the Texans, coming off a 92-yard week, rushing the ball, 25 receiving yards. His number, 92.5 rushing and receiving yards, going up against the Titans, the first-place Titans.
They're going to run the ball, though.
Okay.
The Titans are good, but I say yes, he'll get that.
So higher than 92.5 for Dameon Pierce.
Yep. Because that's all they got. So yes.
So right now, Brandon Cooks, it's that time of the year. It's rumor season for Brandon Cooks perpetually. Every year this happens. He is on the trade block again.
That's my dog.
Yeah, why? Like, he's one of the more underrated receivers in the league just because of circumstance, and he's still somehow not 30 despite being in the league for the last 25 years. And he just signed an extension. Like, I think he was just tired of moving. He's tired of packing boxes. He's tired of hiring trucks.
I know him. He's a good dude, man.
Oh yeah, I love Brandon Cooks. He was a Patriot for 1 year. I wish he was here longer. Should teams be calling the Texans for Brandon Cooks, or is he telling his agent shut off the phone? I
don't know what he's telling his agent. I mean, he might be used to moving. Sometimes it's hard to know. Sometimes you never know. I don't know. All right, what about Daniel Jones?
I was going to say we got the second place Giants. This is why it's tough being a Cowboys fan this year. They treaded water with Cooper Rush. Dak's back. They win with him. They're still in third place. They're still looking up at the Giants and the Eagles.
Yep.
Daniel Jones he's not being asked to do a whole lot, but
he's doing it well, ain't he?
He sure is. Yeah, that's where Daboll.
That's what you call coaching.
Yeah, that's where Daboll's looking like coach of the year right now. He's got that team buying what he's selling. Higher or lower, 240.5 total yards versus Seattle. Last week he put up 202 in the air and 107 on the ground.
So you saying 202 both?
240.5 both.
Ooh, Seattle.
At Seattle too. So do you buy into the East traveling West and West traveling East stuff? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
So at Seattle, this time of year, I assume it's going to be rainy just because that's what Seattle does.
I think they're going to get it.
So you're saying higher?
Yeah.
Okay. We're buying into the Daniel Jones hype.
I don't think they'll win. I'm not sure if they'll win, but I think they're going to get the yardage because Seattle is hot and cold.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got Daniel Jones.
I think this will be Geno Smith's 8th straight revenge game somehow. Every week he's got a revenge game.
Man, get off him, dog.
No, I love it.
Get off him.
I love it. I'm all in on Geno this year. It's been great.
All right. Is that it?
For fantasy versus reality? Yeah, I mean, Tyler Boyd's on here. There's no line for him at the moment. But YC wants to know, can a quarterback have too many weapons? Is that a problem in Cincinnati?
No, I think having that, Zach Taylor is doing exactly what Kyle Shanahan is doing. Sean McVay is trying to do. That's why they bet the farm. This type of offense that Cincinnati has, it really has to do with all of the guys they have on offense. The offensive schemes right now in the NFL is all about, it's like college. We're all running the same thing. The way we beat you is we have to have better athletes than you. You know what we're running, so we got to block you better. We got to have our receivers run faster be able to get off the press, get off the jam, be creative in their route running, and the quarterback make the decision and throw it. As long as they continue to keep having all these targets and all these weapons, a running game, passing game, Joe Burrow will flourish. Cover 2, cover 3, figuring out which, how to play, which plays versus this coverage that Joe Burrow makes good decisions, eliminating the plays that he makes bad decisions, and that's what you're going to have. Having too many weapons, this type of offense that they run is essential. It's paramount.
Who is the key there? Is it Joe Mixon or is it just Burrow? Is it simply just
I think it's both.
Okay.
Because Burrow in decision making, but also Joe Mixon, because Joe Mixon is a 4-down back. So he doesn't come in and come out to tip off what kind of offense, what kind of play you're running. Oh, it's a pass when Joe Mixon's in, or it's a run with Joe Mixon. He can do both, and that's why dual threat running backs are being more successful, and that's why Christian McCaffrey, that push, is because you have a creative, offensive-minded coach, and they know what they're doing with John Lynch and company, so they're a better sustainable formula for Christian McCaffrey, because all they're going to do now next year is add someone fast, right? If Romeo Doubs was playing for the San Francisco 49ers, he would be having a better and bigger impact the same way Brandon Ayuk had for the 49ers when he was there. But unfortunately, they are expecting Romeo Doubs to all of a sudden fix all of their issues right now with the Green Bay Packers, and they can't.
Right.
So having too many weapons, no, that's the only way you're going to be successful with this type of offense. That's why the Rams were so good when they were running the football, passing the ball, having so many weapons. You got to have a speed guy, you got to have an intermediate guy, you got to have a flat guy, and then you got a guy that could just ball out, right? Chase McDaniels is the ball out guy. He's the deep threat, run, speed. Tyler Boyd is the guy that's in between, but his yak is unbelievable, and he can moss you. And then you got the big, T. Higgins, where he can run too. He can moss you. He can back you in. So they have it all together. And then Joe Mixon catching the ball, and then CJ, the tight end, he got hurt, but Hayden Hurst is being that guy that's in between, and that's why it's going so well. That's what this offense is about, is fly, quarterback make good decisions, run the football.
Chase McDaniel is going to be so happy that you just confused him with Jamar Chase. He's never been so happy to be confused with when you went to say Jamar Chase, you said Chase McDaniel, and I was like,
"Oh, my bad."
No,
my bad. Yeah.
He'll be thrilled. He'll be like, "Yeah, that's me." Yep.
Yeah. Chase McDaniels is he's a backup for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, he'll be a backup for the rest of my life. He's got it made. Yeah. He's got the best job in the world. He's hoping he never gets in, but he won't. Check still cash.
All right. Week 8 games.
We got Thursday, Baltimore at Tampa. We've got.
I got Baltimore. Tampa is not going to be able to run a football. They can't stop the run. And guess what? The Baltimore Ravens run the football. Their secondary is diminished. I think Baltimore runs away with this handedly. Okay. I think this votes well for Tom with the zone coverage, but the pressures are going to get to him. I can see them being in zone coverage, and it'll go well. It'll go well. But I think Baltimore's going to win.
We're forcing England to watch Denver and Jacksonville play. That seems cool.
I'm not watching that game.
Carolina at Atlanta.
I'm not picking that game because I don't know. You got two good defenses, and you got some offenses you don't know their identity, and you can hear the ambulance coming because they're coming for me because I won't pick. They're gonna arrest me.
Chicago at Dallas. Chicago coming off a big win. I feel like they're probably a letdown game.
It's going to be a letdown game. The game I'm interested in watching, the Vegas Raiders against the Saints.
Okay.
Because and I don't know if it's injuries or if it's personnel decisions. The guys who were playing well last year for the Las Vegas Raiders and the guys who were not playing well are playing well. The guys who were playing well are not even active or they're hurt, whatever the case may be. The Vegas Raiders just seem upside down right now. I don't know which way is up with them.
And the Saints right now look like they're about to be handing a top 5 pick to the Eagles if they don't turn this around.
Yeah, it's tough.
We've got New England, New York, a game I would have been more excited about if Breece Hall didn't get hurt and if the Patriots just didn't get their doors blown off 24 hours ago. So that it's still a game that's going to happen for sure.
The 2 games that I'm really interested in seeing,
okay,
the Packers and Bills, which Packers show up, and do the 49ers blow the doors off the Rams, or do the Rams squeak by?
That's my gold. 49ers at Rams.
But I'm interested to see this train wreck that's going on in Green Bay, though.
I originally had it in mind, but man, they're just so depressing. They're just it's like they're not running the ball. I don't know why they gave Aaron Jones all this money. They spent
but then they were slowly starting to give A.J. Dillon an opportunity, and then A.J. Dillon is screwing it up, fumbling, missing blocks, can't hit the hole. It's tough.
Packers defense hasn't shown up like people thought they would coming into the year.
Yeah, they in trouble.
Yeah, I like that game. That game could be over quickly. So my bronze was Cardinals at Vikings. This is the Call of Duty's out this week. We'll see what Kyler does.
I know. I think based off the commercials, I think I'm gonna buy the game.
Love that.
Yeah.
I mean the
I think I'm gonna get on Xbox though because I have the PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
But because of all the chip things and shortage, man, it's not a lot of storage on the PlayStation 5.
No, there isn't.
So you got to like download enough. I mean, I don't feel like doing all that, and I'm not tech savvy, so I'm just going with my Xbox.
I mean, the Chiefs credited playing Call of Duty to building some chemistry on that offense. That Friday night, all the boys were playing, and that's where they got on the same page. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, Vikings coming off a bye, Justin Jefferson back. My silver is Giants at Seahawks. Giants still 6-1. Geno Smith playing well. Swole Bones may or may not play. He says he wants to.
He won't. I don't think he should.
I don't think he should.
Doesn't, especially if
I don't think he should. But it will be a good test. Like it's a great right now. It's a great defense versus a great offense. So I always enjoy it.
DK talks to Swole Bones talks to Russell Wilson every day still, or like once a week. They still talk. So maybe
he's got his number.
Russell can give him some. Yeah. So maybe he can give him some of that Wolverine blood.
Did you see that 2 weeks ago? Marshawn was saying none of those guys ever had Russell's number.
Yeah, I mean some guys don't. Listen, I'm not stepping into that, bro. I stay out of it.
Well, did you ever have a teammate who you had to go through their agent to talk to them?
No, I've had some guys where sometimes we're in the locker room and the number, I had to talk to this person because sometimes this person wouldn't reply, but whatever.
So it's not that rare.
I mean, if a guy wants to give you his number, he'll give you his number.
Sure,
there have been times I've had guys that I've told, "Hey, get my number from this person," and he's been standing right in front of me. I've had a guy that "Hey, Mick, get my number from YC," and he's like, "Oh, okay," and I did that intentionally.
Right.
The fact that I just told you to get my number from YC and you standing right there face to face. So what am I telling you?
Yeah, don't leave me alone. Yeah.
I don't fool with you.
Yeah, get from around me.
Yeah. Yes.
And 49ers at Rams is my gold. Division game. May decide the division or this early in the year. Or the Seahawks are just going to run away with it. Who knows? I don't know what's happening with the West anymore.
I don't know what's happening, but 49ers, the Rams just got a dose of Christian McCaffrey. Do you think, man, Kyle Shanahan he already knows that he can outrun that defense.
Right.
That defense is struggling a little bit outside of Aaron Jones, and the Rap is playing pretty good. Trap is playing pretty good. Jalen Ramsey, but they're kind of struggling a little bit after that.
Yeah, it's
hey, just randomly talking about the West, man. Murray Jr., the corner for the Cardinals.
Okay.
He's becoming into a pretty darn good corner, man. Very physical, jammed up. I was watching him during the game, man. Hey, he was holding his own.
Who else this year has kind of not surprised you, but made a name for themselves in your eyes?
Corners?
Just in general, guys across the league. Like Murray Jr., I've heard no one else talking about, so I love hearing. I love finding new guys to watch.
Well, I have so many names in my head. I don't really just you asking me randomly. I got to go back and look at, specific guys. I think, Adam. Hutchinson for Detroit. I love the way he's playing. I think Christian Kirk is really shown he can step up. Right, there's a number of different players, obviously, Hall before he got hurt.
Yeah,
Michael Carter.
Well, happy Halloween from everyone at Cut to It. What are you being this year?
I'm be Steve Smith.
Okay, scariest costume out there.
I don't.
You don't participate. You're not a Halloween guy.
No, not really.
Are you a lights off guy? Are you a stay away from the house, no candy guy?
I just don't celebrate Halloween.
All right.
I'm not Jehovah's Witness or any of that. I just don't celebrate Halloween.
All right, not happy Halloween from Cut to It then. Have a bad Halloween, everyone.
Humbug Halloween. I'm Grumpy Steve from Cut to It.
Hey, Coley Mick, we'll see you guys next week.